In the quiet towns of North Karnataka, a craft survives based on memory. A craft where the stitch must return to the exact point it began. A craft that has been passed down from mother to daughter for over 600 years.
It's a discipline, a mathematical grid, passed down not through books but from mother to daughter. Let's start with the name. It comes from two Kannada words, kai, which means hand, and suti, which means a cotton thread.
Simple yet profound, the handwork of cotton. While historians trace its roots back to the Chalukya period of the 6th century, it truly flourished later during the Vijayanagara Empire.
It evolved in cultural hubs of Dharwad, Hubli, Belgaum and Gadag. But unlike the royal crafts of the north, which use silk threads on silk, Kasuti remained grounded.
It was the art of the people. Women embroidered temple tars, chariots, palanquins, stitching the reality into their clothes. For centuries, Kasuti was not just a hobby, it was a true measure of a woman's capabilities. Traditional Indian texts list Kasuti as one of the 64 kalas, the 64 arts a cultured human was expected to master.
It was an essential part of the bridal outfit. Every bride in North Karnataka would carry a Chandrakali sari, a black silk sari with heavy Kasuti work. It was either gifted to her or she made it with her own hands.
Ma'am, your name and your experience in the industry.
Hello, my name is Aarti Hiremat. I am from Aarti Crafts, Dharwad. I've been into the Kasuti business for the past 36 years. As you all know, Kasuti is a folk craft from Dharwad district. We are also having a GI tag. We are the authorized users for it. It has been a very up and down journey. Till about 2007, 2008, Kasuti, as you all know, was a languishing craft. And after that, there was a sudden surge in demand for Indian textiles and crafts. And from there, we have grown well, I can say.
Okay. So, what was the one reason that made you interested in Kasuti? Like the making the company or learning the art?
Yeah. I knew a little bit of hand embroidery, which I learned in school and as a hobby. But I really didn't know what Kasuti was all about till I got married and came to Dharwad. And then I found this very interesting craft, and there's a story behind it, which I've been telling time and again, that I didn't know what it was all about. There were two women who approached me for work. And they had to explain to me that my mother had got some saris done from them, and they found out that I had come back to Dharwad. And as a new bride, I was a little hesitant, but they asked me to help them with work. So in the process, I started getting them saris from Bangalore, my hometown, and from my neighbors and friends first, then from larger stores and boutiques. And this is how we started Kasuti. Then I started getting slowly interested in the business part of it, and I started attending exhibitions. But for a good 10 years, I was doing just a couple of exhibitions every year and job work most of the time. But post 2000, I started creating my own collection. And by 2010, we found that there was a sudden demand in handcrafted saris, and people started getting, because of the sari groups that were created, and there were women who wanted to create awareness about the sari. So we had a very good turnabout, and we suddenly found that we are very much in demand. We started sending it even to outside India, and we were accepted as one of the units which was doing genuine handcrafted Kasuti.
Okay.
So since then, it's been a fantastic journey.
So, how much does a average or like the range of price of work?
We start from as less as 3,500 for a basic malmal sari, which has got very, very basic embroidery. But then our cottons cost 7,500. And from there onwards, we have till about 60,000-70,000 rupees,
Okay.
which are silks.
How long does it take to learn or master Kasuti? Like,
Earlier, it was a little difficult because it was a very organic process of just putting the Kasuti on the sari, on the fabric. So it was difficult to learn. But now that we have brought in stenciling since 2015, we find that it is much easier because there's some kind of reference for the embroidery to happen.
So you're telling it came in 2015. Before that, they were doing it by hand?
Yeah, by hand. Everything is still done by hand, but they didn't have a reference point.
Okay.
Like there was no, we didn't use net or we didn't use any kind of tracing or anything on the sari. It was all very authentically done, like how Kasuti was done earlier. Of course, it started with counting the weaves, but as the weaves started getting more sophisticated, they started closing up and becoming tighter. Then it was a little difficult to use that as a reference point. So most of our artisans till 2015 used to do it in andaz.
Okay.
Means they were so good and so skilled that they could just take a needle and thread and just start off. There was no straight line which were drawn, nothing. The symmetry was perfect, the Kasuti was perfect, it looked same on either side of the fabric and all those things. But because we started getting bulk orders, like 1,000 dupattas of the same kind from some of the online stores and some of the bigger stores that we supply to, we had to bring in stenciling because they had to have reference point. If a particular dupatta had 24 buttas, the same 24 buttas had to be there on all the 1,000 dupattas. So because of the bulk demand that we had, we brought in stenciling.
So it was existing in other places, but you started using it in 2015.
Yes.
Okay. So like you said, recently the Kasuti embroidery is more in demand. So do you think that is going to be a trend, or do you think there's a chance that it dies down because there are not enough skilled people who are doing it?
No, it's not a question of skill. We keep on training newer artisans. There's a lot of demand, and also because it is very easy, it doesn't require any heavy equipment. It is easy to learn. Lot of people from the Muslim community also coming in because as some of them are not allowed out of the houses and things like that because of the restrictions, social restrictions that they have. They sit at home and do the work. So we find that a lot of these women are coming in and asking us to train them because they use it as a extra income, as an additional income for fees or something at home or some EMI or something like that. So we find that it is improving people's lives as well.
So if one has to learn Kasuti embroidery, how do they go about that? Like how do they learn it? Like is there like a school or like?
No, we train these girls free of charge.
Okay.
But our only thing is we only train those people who are really interested in making a living out of that craft. We don't want housewives coming in and using it as a pastime. They say because we want to learn the craft, let us learn it, and then they don't do anything much with it. We believe that if you train somebody, then you have to use it to improve their lives and their lifestyles.
Okay, so other than you, if for example, if they're not geographically able to come here, are there any places they can approach or like?
In Dharwad and around Dharwad, we cover about 7 villages. We have about 200 plus artisans in 7 villages. So we train them and they work from home. Our supervisors go there, give them the work, then bring it back. But there are people in Bangalore and other places who are doing the same craft. But I think the GI belongs to Dharwad region.
Yeah. What do you think can be done to save these art forms? Like, is there anything external help that is required to?
See, I'm not an NGO, but there are NGOs who get a lot of funding from the government.
Okay.
And who use it, I don't know how. But there are people doing that as well. But when it comes to the craft itself and how it should be thriving and what can be done about that, the only way to take this forward is reinvention.
Okay.
There is an on and off demand for traditional things. There are some people who say that this is my first Kasuti sari, so I want all traditional motifs of that. But then we also have customers who say that who repeat customers are there who would like to have Kasuti in some other form. So constant reinventions are there. Then youngsters like you, designers, who are young, they need to bring in some kind of variety into how the craft is applied. Not just, we don't want the motifs to change. We just want it applied in such a way that it looks very contemporary, very modern, and the youngsters are interested in it.
Okay. So one last question. If you had any message for the viewers from your heart that you think they should know, or like you want to give any advice, you can tell it. Because you have a lot of experience and wisdom.
There's no advice. but I would just like to say that please patronize these crafts, the traditional crafts of India. They are really, really special. And also it is a great way of helping the underprivileged and making their lives better, give them a better opportunity to improve their lifestyle, and well, let the crafts thrive.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hello. आपका नाम और आप क्या करते हैं?
मेरा नाम रुकैया है। मैं अमीनबाई से रहने वाली हूँ और बंधु नवर हमारा सरनेम है।
तो आप इधर कब से हैं?
मैं यहाँ 12 साल से तो हूँ। पहले मैं सिर्फ काम ले जाना लेकर करती थी, अभी मैं यहीं पे हूँ। 8 साल हुआ।
तो आपको ये कसूती करने में कितना एक्सपीरियंस कितना है? कब से कर रहे हैं?
मैं 14 साल से कर रही हूँ।
और आपने सीखा कहाँ से? कैसे सीखा आपने?
मैं यहाँ आके ही सीखी हूँ।
अच्छा।
2 साल नहीं की, अभी मैं 12 साल हुआ कंटिन्यू कर रही हूँ कसूती करना। 12-13 साल हुआ।
और आपके फैमिली में कौन कौन?
फैमिली में मेरे 3 बच्चे हैं और मेरे हस्बैंड मैं हूँ।
तो
5 लोग।
आपके बच्चे क्या करते हैं?
मेरे बच्चे मैं सीखते वक्त बहुत छोटे थे।
हाँ।
उनके लिए मैं ये कसूती करती थी।
अच्छा।
और उनके स्कूल का फीस और घर का भी थोड़ा कुछ हेल्प होता था।
अच्छा। तो आपके साथ रहते हैं?
हाँ, मेरे साथ ही रहते।
तो आप किसी को, आपके बच्चों को ये सिखाते हैं कैसे करना है? कोई किसी को इंटरेस्ट है ये करने में?
ये मेरी बेटी मुझे खुद देख के ही सीखी है। स्कूल जाती है पर वो मैं जो काम करती हूँ देख के खुद ही सीख चुकी है।
अच्छा।
थोड़ा कुछ हेल्प भी करती है मुझे कभी कभी।
तो आपको ऐसा विषय कि वो कंटिन्यू जो आप कर रहे हैं वो भी करे फ्यूचर में, या फिर आपको उसके लिए कुछ और सब?
वो कंटिन्यू करती है नहीं पता नहीं, वो क्योंकि वो स्कूल सीखती है। हम तो 8 क्लास किए हैं, हमको कुछ काम नहीं था, हम घर बैठे यही।
नहीं, आपको क्या इच्छा है कि वो आपके जैसे या आर्ट करे या उसके मन का अगर कोई हो?
उसके मन का करे वो।
ठीक है। आपको इस आर्ट फॉर्म से कोई लगाव है या आप सिर्फ पर्सनली सिर्फ कमाने के लिए, घर चलाने के लिए?
नहीं, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा ये कसूती सीख के। मुझे बहुत ही हेल्प हुआ और मेरी जिंदगी ये कसूती है, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
आप कहाँ से सीखे कसूती का?
मैं यहाँ आर्टी क्राफ्ट में ही सीखी हूँ।
आर्टी क्राफ्ट में आप ही पहले सीखे?
हाँ।
ठीक है। दूसरी चीज मैं आपको ये पूछना चाहूंगा कि आपको एक साड़ी खत्म करने में लगभग कितना टाइम लगता है?
ये घर का काम करके अगर करने को बैठेंगे तो इसे 5 घंटा तो काम करना ही पड़ता है, क्योंकि ये थोड़ा आगे पीछे सेम आता है ना। एक बुट्टा 1 घंटा 1.5 घंटा लेता है, तो इससे देखेंगे तो 1 महीना तो लगता है
एक साड़ी खत्म।
हाँ, 1 महीना लगता है।
और आप 1 महीने में कितनी, सिर्फ आप ही एक साड़ी पे काम करते हो या एक साड़ी पे काफी लोग काम
कर सकते हैं? अगर जल्दी चाहिए, थोड़ा जल्दी करना है तो कोई और भी 2 लोग कर सकते हैं।
ठीक है। और आप लगभग महीने में ये कसूती करके कितना कमा लेती हैं, अगर आप बोलना चाहें?
पहले तो मैं बहुत नहीं कमाती थी, घर पे बैठ के ये करती थी ना तभी। अभी मुझे अच्छा पेमेंट पड़ता है, 12-13 हज़ार तक पड़ता है।
ये पूछना चाहेंगे कि जैसे अभी सब कुछ मॉडर्न मशीन की तरफ बढ़ रहा है, सबको प्रॉफिट ज़्यादा कमाना है, कि बड़ी कंपनियों को फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि कैसे बन रहा है, बस बेचना है लोगों को। आपको क्या लगता है कि ये होना चाहिए? आपको क्या लगता है कि ये आर्ट फॉर्म जो है कसूती का कितने साल और चलेगा? आपको क्या लगता है इसका फ्यूचर क्या है?
वो मशीन वर्क होता है ना, वो जैसे ही कुछ उसको हाथ लगा या कुछ ऐसा कुछ भी लगा तो एकदम वो खुल जाता है, लेकिन ये ऐसा नहीं है। ये जब डालते हैं ना जितना तकलीफ इसको डालने में है उतना खोलने में है।
ठीक है मैम, आपसे क्वेश्चन हो गए। आपके बस दिल से, अगर आपको जो भी देख रहा है ये वीडियो, जो कसूती में इंटरेस्ट है या उनको कपड़े का शौक है या उनको ये आर्ट फॉर्म वापस जिंदा करना है जैसे पहले था, तो उनके लिए आप क्या बोलना चाहेंगे? कुछ दिल से अगर आपके पास है तो बोलिए, अगर नहीं है तो चले।
क्या बोलूँगी?
अगर कुछ है तो बोलिए आप, वरना कुछ नहीं।
अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं, लोगों को वापस शुरू करना चाहिए इसमें,
ये शुरू करना है सर, ये बहुत अच्छा काम है। ये कसूती है ना, हमेशा रहना चाहिए, बहुत अच्छा है ये। और ये एक बार जब साड़ी पे बैठता है नहीं, जो साड़ी खराब होने पर भी ये नहीं जाता, डिजाइन नहीं जाता, उतना अच्छा है। हर कोई पहनेंगे तो बहुत खुशी है मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा।
ठीक है, डन मैम, थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सर। It was purely geometric. The woman would count warps and weft threads with their own naked eye. If the calculation was off even by one thread, the symmetry would break. It required the mind of a mathematician. To understand this geometry, you'll have to look at the four main pillars of Kasuti, the four pillars that make it.
The first is Gavanti, the double running stitch. It works forward and backwards along the same line. The technical brilliance here is that it is reversible. The design looks the same from the front and the back. No knots, no mess.
Then comes Murgi, the ladder stitch. It moves in zigzag steps. Like Gavanti, it is neat and reversible and usually used to frame designs.
The third one is Negi, the weaver's stitch. This one's a little different. It mimics a woven pattern with long and short loops. It's used to fill larger motifs with texture. But unlike the other two, this is not reversible.
And finally, Menti, the cross stitch. It creates a granular texture used to fill heavy backgrounds or intricate floral patterns.
Kasuti cannot be separated from the ilkal sari. The broad, solid borders became the perfect grid for this embroidery. Specifically, the tope teni pallu. The combination of the rugged ilkal fabric and the delicate Kasuti geometry became the visual identity of North Karnataka.
But we have to talk about why we are seeing less of it today. Authentic Kasuti is incredibly slow. Sometimes it can take a woman up to weeks or months to complete a sari.
And then the market changed. The machine embroidery arrived. Faster, cheaper, but without the soul.
The economics are harsh. In the unorganized sector, artisans still struggle to earn more than 200 to 300 rupees a day. When unskilled manual labor pays more than the skilled heritage art, the art begins to die. Many mothers stop teaching this art to their daughters.
But the story isn't over. A revival is happening. Cooperatives and designers are realizing that slowness is a luxury.
The new generations are looking for meaning in what they wear. Kasuti has moved beyond saris. It's on denim, it's on pocket, it's even on laptop sleeves.
Kasuti isn't just embroidery. It's memory stitched into cloth. Discipline, devotion, and identity in every motif. But the world has changed. Time is faster, attention is shorter, and handmade is often judged like machine made. Still, Kasuti survives in the hands that refuse to rush and in the new generation choosing to carry it forward in their own way. Because tradition doesn't disappear, it adapts. The art is not dead, but it does require new means to survive.